You're listening to the PRO Media Network. The next level in entertainment.
You're listening to the Pelicans Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
For all things Pelicans, you're now rocking with the Pelican Postgame Report, the PRO Media Network. I'm Big Q Chime with you on podcast 337 Pelican Postgame Report coming at you. Recapping the Pelicans matchups, man. Remind me to criticize Elfrid Payton more, man. Elfrid Payton's on some spectacular stuff. Now, of course, the Pelicans not going too far in this here thing, but it's good to see a guy like Elfrid Payton make his moves, do his things as he reach elite levels with his triple doubles. We'll cover that today in the show. Welcome aboard, both new and established followers of the show. Pelican Postgame Report 337 recapping Bucks, Blazers, Suns, and the Mavs matchups from the Pelicans past week, and a preview of the Orlando Magic matchup coming up tomorrow. Of course, Elfrid Payton, spectacular moves he's been doing. We've got Coach Gentry chime in with that post game after the Phoenix loss. And, of course, we have the breakdown. Of course, we know the Pelicans, of course, were eliminated from playoff contention. We, of course, all knew that the Pelicans weren't going to go anywhere recently as of these moves and decisions, as they didn't even, not once after the new interim general manager came in, mentioned the P word, playoffs. Not even close. So in podcast 337, we'll recap that. All of those great matchups. And we'll start with a few of these games, man. You look at what the Pelicans did as they tried to kind of pull themselves out of what was pretty much a bad situation. You know, they won a few games in a row. Ultimately, they began to fall apart even further down a rabbit hole. Now, the Pelicans stand currently at 30-42, a lousy 18-17 at home. And I mean, you could take what you can. You know, I was always taught to look at the positive in most situations. And the positive in the Pelican season as it stands, of course, people like Kenrich Williams, they found a pretty decent small forward that can play defense. He got a lot to learn, but he can play defense. He's energetic. He can shoot the three. He's only going to get better. The kid was a pretty good find by Dale Demps. Give him credit. But when you lose as many games as the Pelicans did to teams like the Hawks, then they lose to the Bucks. We knew they weren't going to beat the Bucks without Drew Holiday. 130-113 lost the Bucks. Then, of course, the Blazers gave them a little payback. They lost by 12 to them at home. Now, the last three games against the Bucks, Blazers, and the one against the Suns, which is the one I want to kind of put the microscope on. All those games, we knew the Bucks and the Blazers won't be difficult matchups without Drew Holiday. And I got to say about Anthony Davis, man, Anthony Davis looks absolutely terrible. I mean, since he's demanded his trade, I know you're still getting paid like a superstar, even though you don't want to be anymore. You're still on his team. You still have to play up to the level of the superstar. I mean, just relegating his role to just a high-paid third option on the floor, and it's just to me, I just don't like it. You know, if you're a all-star, you play like that regardless of your team, win or losing, whether you want to be there or not. You have to still play up to that superstar level, and I just don't see it. Even though he's playing 20-something odd minutes a night, he should be the freshest player out there because they're not utilizing him that much. But it's just my take on what a superstar's supposed to be. If you don't be a guy paying you $25+ million a season, you need to step your ass up and play better than what you've been playing in these matchups. That's just my opinion. Bucks 130 to 113 loss there. Trailblazers 122 to 110. But the real game I want to talk about, we already know with the Bucks and Blazers. It's nothing to really kind of emphasize in that matchup. But the Suns matchup to me was one of the ones that really kind of rubbed me the wrong way, and it's for obvious reasons. The Suns have been playing really well as of late. They beat Golden State and a few other really good teams, but the Pelicans had this game in hand. Should have won this game. Even though Phoenix shot 51%, the Pelicans were in control of this matchup. And basically, it came down to like a Chris Webber type of deal when they didn't even realize they didn't have timeouts to call. One of the timeouts was when they were trying to inbound the ball, tried to call a timeout, but the referees hit them with a 5-second violation trying to get the ball in. Next time around, in the cusp of the game, now, of course, the Pelicans had this game in hand. And the shitty defense allowed them to creep back in the game. And then one of the most unforgivable things that I've seen in a long time, which is the coach not having these guys on the same page as far as the timeouts, and it ultimately cost them the game against Phoenix. It was a terrible decision, terrible thing. And, of course, Gentry took all of the blame for it, like he needs to take the blame for it. Like I keep telling you, this guy's the wrong guy for this team. He's nothing against his age, but he's a little too old to have a young team like this. He's not – it's just a terrible matchup between the two. Dale Dempsey's gone. You need to take your coach with you, bottom line. And I really do hope the Pelicans really do, when the new the VP comes in, because that's who you should be hiring first. You shouldn't be looking at trying to hire no general manager. You need to look at a VP, somebody that has a credible background that can build franchises. A Jerry West type VP or a person will respect, that bring instant respect to the organization, that know how to build a winner in this league. That's what you hire first. Hire him first and allow him to pick his own general manager and his coach. That's what it needs to come down to. But let's see what the ramblings of Gentry after the Suns match up to get a coach's breakdown on what happened. Here's Gentry.
Can you just talk us through where did the timeout come from there at the end, or what?
I called it. That was my mistake. That was on me. I called the timeout. We didn't have a timeout. That's where the technical came from. So I thought we had one left. I thought they said we had one left. We didn't have one left. So that's all on me. I'll take the hit for that one.
Can you just walk us through the end of that game? That's one of the craziest.
Yeah, we have to try to. We did everything we needed to try to win the game. Thought we played hard. Thought we fought. Got to do a better job of coming up with loose balls. And we always talked about the key to the game would be the turnovers. And once again, we give up 30 points on turnovers. So you can talk about the last couple of plays, or didn't do this, didn't do that, but the game is right there in the 23 turnovers for 30 points that we had. So we have to do much better with that. And we tried to communicate the fact that we had 2 fouls to give. So, we could take the first one, then we could take the second one, not allowing a 3-point shot. So just miscommunication. And anytime there's miscommunication, I have to be responsible for that. So I'll take the hit for that.
So you guys were trying to foul that second time?
We were going to try to foul the second time.
And on the inbounds, did you think you had a timeout for the inbounds as well with Alfred, or was that?
No, we had already said that there wasn't a timeout. That's why I said that I'll take the hit, because the second one I called, so.
Coach, a lot of missed free throws tonight, similar against Portland.
That's Gentry, that he said he'll take the hit for that. The guy asked him, the reporter asked him a smart question like, there was 2. One was on the inbound pass. You tried to call a timeout, and the referees gave him a break and hit him with a 5-second. That was actually supposed to be a technical as well, because they ain't know. That happened that time, and then the second time, according to what he just told you, he hit it then. But I'm like saying, everybody make mistakes. But this is the same man say, I've been involved with the NBA for over 30 years, and I've never had a bad loss or whatever it is, a good loss or whatever it is, with famous expressions of Gentry. Ultimately, the reality at the end of the day is the Pelicans are this is a team from last year, went to the second round of the playoffs. This year, the team is just absolutely, it stinks. And then we're looking for players who probably not going to even be on this team. Perhaps Drew Holiday. I mean, there's trade, believe it or not, trade rumors behind Drew Holiday as well. The Pelicans could very well go full rebuild mode. Full rebuild. I mean, there are rumors circulating around Drew Holiday as well as Anthony Davis too. Believe it or not. But anyway, the Pelicans lose the matchup to the Phoenix Suns 138-136 due to their own irresponsibility. They were actually pretty talented shooting the ball 15 and 30 for 15%. Still wasn't able to get it done, but 27 to 41 from the free throw line for 66%. I keep telling you the same thing over and over again. The team is terrible at the free throw line. They stink. 70%, 66%. You could have won the game on the line alone. Shooting 27 to 41 for 66% is absolutely terrible for a pro team. It stinks. They turn the ball over 23 times for 30 points in the game. They continue to not miss. They continue to not hit free throws. They continue to miss, turn over the ball. I mean, they just terribly inconsistent, and they just a joke defensively. And that's due to coaching, because they have the talent to be better than what they are. I've been saying that all year. This is the problem with them is schematic. It's the scheme, and it deals with the coach not knowing his team properly and not relaying a decent fundamental scheme to the team. Bottom line. Outside of that, Pelicans go down to this team. Now, on the lighter side of things, the Pelicans travel to Dallas after, believe it or not, losing 3 straight games at home, where they're supposed to be good at. And they went up to Dallas, and they had a gutty performance against the Mavericks. Of course, Dirk Nowitzki looking to surpass Wilt Chamberlain, which he did, and what was a good night for Dallas in terms of history is concerned. But we got to give it up to Elfrid Payton. Elfrid Payton's been spectacular during this little stretch here. He's been absolutely splendid. He joined a very good list of NBA greats on Monday with recording triple-double in his 5th game. He's a 6-year veteran, and he joined the likes of people like Russell Westbrook, Oscar Robertson, Wilt Chamberlain, Michael Jordan, and people like that, man. That's absolutely. Even Wilt Chamberlain was there. He averaging right now 10.5 points, 7 assists, and 5 rebounds, and had 19 points, 11 assists, 10 rebounds against the Mavericks in the 129-125 overtime win that ended the 6-game losing streak for the Pelicans. Now, he was terrific, in the game and instrumental. Of course, guys like him and Julius Randle continue to be astronomical. I mean, they Jurassic. These guys are playing above and better. They're taking the team and putting the team on their backs and carrying the team to levels way beyond, what they can make. Despite the fact that you have a healthy Anthony Davis playing, I mean, these guys saying, you know what, since Anthony Davis want to, play these little whimsical games and just be a high-paid cheerleader, we're going to carry this team. Now, AD did score 20 points in 21 minutes to his chagrin, but 30 points, Julius Randle. 19 points from Elfrid Payton, along with 10 rebounds, 11 assists, 19 from Frank Jackson, who continue to put up really good minutes and points for the Pelicans as he develops. So a lot of the bad side of them stinking as bad as they are is the fact that the young players like Frank Jackson and Kenrich Williams, who will be on this team next year, are getting a lot of minutes to get involved and make things happen. Off the bench, we had a couple of scores. Ian Clark played well. He had 10 points. So did Darius Miller with 10. 8 from Sheik Diallo off the bench. They helped the Pelicans carry the day 129-125. Good win for them. Now, of course, like I said, dealing with the Pelicans organization, they were eliminated from the playoffs despite the win over the Orlando Magic, by the fact that other teams keep winning. That's good news because it finally puts them out of their misery and it kind of focuses us toward looking at the draft. But more than half of this team's not going to be here. Anthony Davis, rumors circulating around Drew Holiday that they possibly looking at trading. And let me tell you something. They said they weren't going to do anything with him. You never know who the general manager is going to be, the new guy is going to come in, and what kind of vision he'll have to this team. So just going to have to wait and see. Also, the Pelicans face off against Orlando Magic coming up real soon, so we'll see how that plays. They got stumped last time against them. So we'll see how it goes. Thank you for joining us on Pelican Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network. If you like the show, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and check us out for further shows. Thank you for joining us. Peace.
Get straight sports talk from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
Embrace Pet Insurance is more than just pet insurance. Embrace Pet Insurance promises to provide genuine support and certainty when your pet need it the most. With personalized accident and illness policies, compassionate customer care, 24/7 access to veterinary professionals, flexible wellness plans, timely claims processing, and online customer portals, their values is what makes them Embrace. So, when selecting a pet insurance company as a partner in your pet's care, you deserve a company that has your pet's best interests